Welcome back, episode 7 with Peter Barnes from Been Better. He drove all the way from Lincoln. I mean, it's really not that far. It's
No, it's not.
You from the east side or west side?
I'm from west side.
West side. A little bit longer of a drive than normal.
It's actually not because I live really close to the interstate.
Gotcha. I used to actually work out in Eagle, Nebraska.
Oh, cool. Nice.
If you know where that is.
I do know where that is.
Have you ever played at that golf course?
No. I've never been to Eagle, but I guess know where Eagle is.
Eagle is literally the only city I've ever seen that has 2 Casey's within a block from each other.
Really?
Yeah.
I live catty corner from a Casey's, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's your morning hub?
No, it's like where I get gas and like late night snacks.
What's your favorite late night snack?
Oh God. Usually if I'm going to Casey's, they used to have these like
Sorry.
they don't have them on display anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But they used to have these like chicken tender wraps.
Ooh.
That they look disgusting, but they're so good. Like it's like imagine like a tortilla with 2 chicken fingers and like ranch and cheese, and they wrap it all together. And, like it's so good for some reason, but I don't know where it is anymore. They, like don't have it anymore or something.
Gas station food is so underrated.
Dude, it honestly is. I learned that on tour. Like gas station hot dogs are like my specialty on tour. So
I was down in a place called Blue Springs, Missouri.
Cool.
And I was there for a bowling tournament, and they don't have Casey's down there.
Really?
And we were trying to find a breakfast place, and at the time we were down there, the power was out, so we had to drive to the other side of the city. And I go, right now would be the perfect time to find a Casey's, and there's no gas. The closest gas station, I had to go like all the way across the city, and I found a BK, and it wasn't worth it.
No, I get that.
You want to go to Denny's?
Dude, yeah, Denny's is the best.
We were talking about this before the podcast started about how he wants to start a Denny's store because we're quoting that guy that's like, "What the fuck is up, Denny's?"
Yeah, there's a real classic video. It's iconic. A hardcore band playing a show at a Denny's.
Do we know what band it is?
I don't know what band it was.
Why didn't they tag him in it?
I have no idea. I think the title of the video is called The Denny's Grand Slam, which is amazing. And it's true. But so I had this thought, like, it would be so sick if some hardcore band did a tour around the U.S., but they only played at Denny's. Like, there's no way in hell Denny's would ever let that happen. But if by some miracle it happened, it would go down in history as, like...
Who do you think those guys talk to?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you think they got to play a show at Denny's?
Oh, my God. It's probably just, like, some friend... like was a manager at a specific Denny's and was like, yeah, you're fucking idiots, but we'll do it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Must have been
Can we swear?
Yeah.
This is a swearing podcast? Tight.
Just go ahead and let it all out.
Great. Awesome. But what I was telling you before, so we went to a Denny's recently.
We's in the band?
Yeah. Well, most of us. We played a show. We played at a thing called House Fest.
Yep. This weekend.
Yep, on Sunday. We played on Sunday. And it destroyed us because we're not used to playing that early. So we played at 1:30. And it just really messed up like our bodies. Like we're not used to doing that. So Austin, Connor, and I, we had to drive up in my car to Dingus's place to like load gear and everything. And we're just not used to doing that until like 4:00 at least. So we play House Fest and we always like try to go as hard as we can, and just in this no ventilation garage, like, we were told there was like a mist after we got done playing, that like we sweat so much that there is like a visible mist
Yikes.
in the room above us, or like above us in the room. So we were like, this is dumb. So we stayed for a bit, sold a couple. I think we sold 1 hat at House Fest, and then we bounced. Yep, we bounced, and we hit up a Denny's, because it was really close to a gas station we had to go to meet up with someone to also give him a hat.
One thing led to another, and you had some pancakes.
We actually didn't get pancakes. I got, what did I get? I just got the All-American Slam. I went easy. I got toast, eggs, sausage, bacon.
Okay. I'm not mad at that because I've been down to Waffle House before.
Yeah, me too.
Which, to Iowans and Nebraskans, if you go to Waffle House, it's like... if you're near a Waffle House or in a state that has a Waffle House, you have to go to it. It's kind of like Steak and Shake.
Yep.
I went to Waffle House and I didn't get waffles.
Me either.
Really?
Dude, yeah, I went there. They had this breakfast bowl that's super tight. It's just like a bowl of like eggs, potatoes, bacon,
Yup.
cheese, and I'm like, this is sick.
I
I
can,
ate that every time we went to when I was with Earth Groans on tour. Every Waffle House stop we went to, what?
You were on tour with Earth Groans?
You didn't know that?
The Earth Groans?
Yeah, I was their videographer for a tour in April with
Oh.
O's Sleeper. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't play with them.
No. I did not play with them, but I was just their videographer.
That's awesome.
But yeah, every time we stopped at a Waffle House, I always got like the same thing because it was really good. And it's really easy. Like I like eating bowls.
Yeah.
It's just so like I don't know.
And it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
Same with Steak and Shake. Steak
Yeah.
and Shake. Oh my god, I could eat Steak and Shake pretty much every day. They have a jalapeno crunch burger.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Dude, we're gonna like be starving by the end of this. And then we're gonna get ramen and it's gonna be the best. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about food and like
Well, I don't go to Benson too often, so
really.
yeah.
You know they have an Ika downtown now in Old Market.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only ramen I've had around here is
Is
the one.
Jinya?
Yeah, Jinya. I have to go like this. Jinya.
Yep. Dude, okay, so I don't know if Ethan Ball watches this podcast, but
He's gonna be on in 2 weeks. So
Really?
watch your words.
Okay, so I don't like Jinya, and he's gonna fucking decimate me on Facebook for saying that. I like Ika more than Jinya. Also, Josh Bratton's probably gonna hate me for that too. But you know what? Fuck both those guys. I don't care.
Who are they anyways?
Exactly,
Who are they?
Exactly.
Oh, Josh Bratton's podcast, the one with Wither Decay.
Yeah,
100 views already.
dude,
It's been 2 days,
it's fucking awesome.
and I've only got 33 subscribers. So you do the math.
Nice, good flex. But I guess there's something about Ika's broth specifically that I guess like so much more than any other place I've gone to in Nebraska.
I mean, it's still in Nebraska. You
Yeah.
mean Omaha?
No, I mean like literally like in,
Oh, it's your favorite place.
in Nebraska. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Because obviously when you're on tour, like you discover a lot of great restaurants, but like there's a really good ramen spot in Dallas that was super good.
Have you toured a lot with Ben Better?
Nope. We actually have not toured at all. And in fact, funny you mentioned that we are actually trying to book a tour, book a run. Mm-hmm. We're not quite at a point where we can book like month long.
Yeah, because I know Austin's very busy.
Yeah,
He has
Austin's
2
busy.
jobs.
He's got a big boy job. And also, like, you know, I have a lot of flexibility inherently because I'm self-employed, but the rest of our guys don't have that flexibility. So getting a week off, cool. Getting a month off,
Tough.
that's what you can do. So we're figuring it out. We're just trying to book like weekend runs. We're trying to do like 4 or 5 shows across the weekend. So we're trying to do one in like February. Kind of hitting like just more Midwestern type stuff, mostly to sell a lot of merch too.
Right.
Y'all do really well. But also, I guess we want to like just do it once so we can kind of get those first tour jitters out of the way, figure stuff out. And then potentially, hopefully, do it like every 3 months or so. That's like the ideal situation, ideally.
Right.
Ideal situation, ideally. I love it. I love
That's a
words.
sentence.
Yeah, it is a sentence.
Would you rather go like East Coast or West Coast first if you were to choose?
Oh my god. Probably West Coast because I think I might be wrong on this. I think you'll pay more tolls. Actually, you know what? It's a toss up. You can hit way more cities for the same mileage going to the East Coast, but I feel like you'll pay a lot more in tolls. Specifically if you go to Chicago.
Yeah.
There's so many tolls you have to pay, specifically in Illinois alone. But I mean, by the time you're on the East Coast, there's just cities everywhere. Versus West Coast, from like Nebraska to California, there aren't a lot of touring markets between those
True.
places. You have like Denver, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, and then all your California places. But beyond that, like, you don't have a whole lot of options. So
Yeah.
it just means long drives.
Whereas
But-
you go east, you can go Des Moines, you can go, let's just say Cedar Rapids, then you
Yeah.
can go Chicago, and then if you want to go up to Minnesota, you can go to
yeah,
Minnesota.
there's so many places to go.
So I guess that makes sense
Yeah.
as to why bands start out going east rather than
Yeah,
west.
I get it. And thankfully for us, like, we're centrally located, so we can kind of go wherever, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully, like, February will be a good time for that to happen, but we'll see.
And then you're going to go to England.
Yeah, we're going to go to England.
You're going to do
Good
a
God.
week-long tour, and then you're going to jump over to England.
God, no. Where's
That'd be
that?
terrible.
That would be terrible.
How long do you think those flights are? Have you ever been out of the country?
No. Yes, I have, but not,
You went south?
not recently. I went to Korea
Oh, wow.
when I was way younger. My mom's from Korea.
Yeah, the name Peter gives it away.
Yeah, right? So my middle name's Chang.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my
But that's
God.
that's a 14-hour flight from California.
Jeez.
Because you'll go from Omaha to Denver to LAX to Seoul.
Would you like to go back?
I think so. It's cool. I don't speak the language, so it's kind of tough, but it is a cool place.
Does your mom still speak it?
Yep.
Somewhat?
Yeah.
She doesn't teach you, though?
No. Well, she tried to. I'm just bad at learning
Yeah.
languages, so do really bad in school.
I think anytime trying to learn a language, ugh.
Yep. It's tough.
You know, like, tidbits.
No, not
You
even
d-
tidbits.
you don't know
Not even
tidbits.
tidbits.
There's a guy on YouTube that I watch, and he's a... Is the correct word linguist?
That could be, I think so.
Where you know multiple
linguist.
languages, where he teaches and learns
Yeah.
multiple languages, and this guy knows like 20, 25.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So he'll go up to these markets. He'll be like, let's just say Walmart, for example. He'll say, "Are you Chinese?" And that guy will be like, "Yeah, I'm Chinese." And then he'll switch to Mandarin and start speaking their language. And then he'll say, "Do you know any other languages?" And he'll speak Cantonese. And they just flip-flop, and it's amazing.
It's cool. I love that.
I could never do that.
I couldn't either, but that's so cool.
That's how the way I translate
Yeah.
is with music. I'm like, "Oh, you listen to Earth?"
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you listen
totally,
to Earthground.
totally.
Well, you might like this band.
Dude, it'd be so if you could speak multiple languages. Oh, I would fuck with people so much. Like, I would dress up and just be like the most like redneck, middle of the country, American Southern drawl accent type situation, and then just flip to like some like Korean or Japanese.
Okay.
Just flip on a switch.
I always have this thought here. The band, let's just say Crystal Lake. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite
I
bands.
love Crystal Lake.
It's one of my
so
favorite
good.
bands.
Yeah.
They're a Japanese band.
Mm-hmm.
They sing in English.
Correct. Yeah.
I think I'm going to pitch something to you. I want Ben Better to sing all their songs in a different language from here on out.
I mean, you can ask that all you want.
I'm not asking Austin. I'm telling you.
You can ask it all you want.
But how strange is that? Like I understand English is a very like prominent language.
Yep.
But isn't it crazy? You don't see any American bands
Yeah.
singing in Japanese.
Yep, that's fair. But I think it just has to do with like English is like the world's most spoken language, so makes sense.
I want to see. I'm trying to think of a funny band or a band that I'd like. Like, could you imagine Attila in Chinese?
That'd be funny. Yeah, that would be funny.
That'd be
But-
kind of wild. Attila in Chinese. Well, I don't see. Attila was one of those bands when they first came out. Like, had so much hype.
Oh, yeah.
So much hype.
Yeah.
And they were like the party rock, and like you could just
There was a lot of shock factor
yeah.
with Attila that did most of their marketing.
And now they're almost just cringy.
Yep,
I don't like them anymore. Their instrumentals aren't that good.
it is
But-
what it is.
Yeah. Peter and I were checking out, or I guess I was showing Peter the band Loathe, which is a
Yeah.
band from the UK. They've only got about 15,000 followers on not YouTube, Spotify, which is a damn shame because they are fucking wild. And I just post the set on Facebook from Fury Fest somewhere in England, but they go hard as shit. And it was to the point where when they came here last, they came with Ocean's 8 Alaska, Wage War, and Varials.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't even watch Wage War because I was talking with the guys from God, I forget the name. I was talking with the guys from Loathe, and then I was talking with Alex Turner from Ocean's 8 Alaska. You have any underrated bands you want to shed light on?
It would take me a bit to think about that. I really like Varials.
Really?
You were just talking about that. They're one of my favorite like beat down like hardcore bands for sure. There is this band. Oh god, there's a band from Lansing, Michigan called, I think they're called Starbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
They were super good. Like,
Oh, you've
it
seen
was-
them live?
Yeah, well, they were on tour. Yeah, it was just they were so good. I gotta figure out if
Starbreaker.
that's- I gotta figure out if that's actually their name. Starbreaker.
Are you the type when you're looking through YouTube, let's say you find a band, are you the type that clicks on the live video or do you click on the music video?
Usually music video first, and then live video.
See, I'm the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I go live video because this is my thought process. I want to hear what they sound like live because why would I pay my money to go see them live if they sound like shit. For example, a band. Sorry. There's a band called the Voynich Code that my friend Ted Fisher and we had discovered. And, like, the way it sounds mixed and mastered and on the music video is great. And then I watch a live performance of it, and everything just sounds so empty.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no bass to anything, and it's just mixed terribly. It could have been the video itself that made it sound that way. It's just unfortunate.
I get it. I'm trying to. Oh my god. This is gonna bug the heck out of me, so bad.
Have you heard of the band Void of Vision?
I have not.
Oh, I got to show you tons of bands.
Great. I'm sure you can. I know a shockingly small amount of bands.
Really?
For as long as I've been playing music. I have a very niche knowledge of bands because most of my musical career has been spent like writing and not a lot of listening. Not a lot of listening.
Do you think that's kind of a benefit?
I don't know. I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, obviously, I've had a ton of practice. Writing me. I was like, where the heck am I? I've had a ton of practice writing music. But I mean, like, it just has led me to a position where, like, there are a lot of popular songs that I don't know what they are.
Right. Well, I almost feel like that'd be of benefit for the reason being that it doesn't. Your music may not sound like somebody else's, or you can't say, yeah, he was influenced by so-and-so artist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, like, I have influences, like, Counterparts is, like, my favorite band.
Everybody likes Counterparts.
I know, but also, like, Counterparts has a huge influence on, like, how I write music, especially for our band. Like, really huge influence. I need to find this band really quick.
Have you been in any other bands besides Been Better?
Technically, yeah. So we were in a band. Austin, our drummer, and Connor, our bass player, and myself. We were actually in a band before Been Better that went by a lot of names, but the longest name was called Down in Circles. Mm-hmm. We were a pop punk band. And the thing is, like, I've had a long history with those guys specifically. Our drummer Austin, we've been playing together since like 2009. There used to be a program in Lincoln called the Academy of Rock, which would bring together like younger people to play in bands together, which is super cool. Not around anymore, but that's how Austin and I met, and we've been playing in various projects from 2009 to now. So
it's been that long. How old are you?
I'm 22.
You've been playing music for 10 years.
Actually, 12,
you're only 22.
12 years. Yeah, I am only 22. I turned 23 in February.
That's one of my. Oh, I hate that saying. When people say, "Yeah, I'm 22 now, I'm turning 23." Duh. You know what I mean? It's like it's quite obvious.
Yeah, but I'm turning 23 in February.
You're like, yeah, but I'm turning 27 next week.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But so we've been playing for a long time. So eventually, Down in Circles, we went for a while. We released an EP, but eventually, bands break up for reasons. So that band broke up, and we didn't really know where we wanted to go. Like Austin and Connor, we all knew because we had a couple of other members in Down in Circles. They quit, and then that is what eventually brought on that band. We were like, you know what, let's just call it. We're not going to try to find another member. We're just going to start over. And we didn't really know where we wanted to go. We knew we still wanted to play on a project of some capacity, but we didn't know what kind of music. We didn't know what our lineup was going to be or anything. So we just kept getting together. I think at this point in our lives, we were getting together once a week. So we still did that. We took a break for a bit, but we got back together once a week. We started writing songs, and you started thinking, like, what is this next thing gonna be? And we were in that stage for 2 years.
Oh, wow. Yep. So Been Better's been like brewing in a cauldron for a while.
Yep. So basically from 2000, like from the beginning of 2016 to towards the very end of 2017 was all prep. And so it was just Austin and Connor and myself writing music, and we were like, do we want to find a vocalist? Do we want to find another guitar player? We didn't really know. We eventually were like, yes, we want a vocalist, because I was sick and tired. I did guitar and main vocals, in Down in Circles, and I was like, I'm so tired of having to do all the vocals because it affects how I have to write my guitar parts. So we knew pretty quick that we were going to have a vocalist. We didn't know who, and also like we didn't really quite know what style we wanted to do, so that would obviously affect what kind of vocalist you get. But we eventually were like, hey, we had a few demos ready to go, so we were like, hey, we're looking for a vocalist. We had quite a few people reach out, but Dingus was one of them. And Dingus was one of the only few who like actually like sent us a track back with his vocals on it. A lot of the people that reached out just like either ghosted or just like I'm not actually about it anymore, which I appreciate because
At least you know.
if you say no, I'm like sick because then I know to not expect anything. It's great. But so we got Dingus, and then we didn't know from that point if we were going to get a second guitar player. So what we actually did was we were like, we knew, so this backtracks a little further than where we are. So Earthgroans. So Jeremy, the vocalist of Earthgroans, is like an inventor. Like the dude is wickedly smart at like building shit. So he made this thing called the Click Track Mixer, if you're familiar with that.
Yup.
Yeah, I filmed a video for it. It was great. But so he hadn't like brought it to market yet. It was still just something that only Earthgroans had. So I knew it existed because we had talked about it at great length about like what is it for, what does it do. So I knew that this kind of thing existed, and I'm like, dang, it's not available yet. What can I do? But I know that kind of thing is possible. So I'm like, guys, let's just not have a second guitar player, and we'll run all of our second guitar tracks through backing tracks, which is what we do now. And that solved a lot of problems. It ultimately makes us tighter because it requires us to have a click track at all times. And also, I guess the less musicians you have, the tighter your performance is going to be. So, and also, I'm a control freak, so I like having 100% control over how the guitar.
Tell that to Woe's Me.
Right. But it's less so when I'm writing because our writing is still somewhat collaborative. But like as far as like recording goes, I have a really high standard for not just me, but I have a high standard for everyone when we record. So I like to have a lot of control as far as how the guitar comes out in recording, especially. Writing, it's a bit less because I do most of the writing, but it's still very much like I write a demo and then we start messing with it and seeing what happens. But I would say like I create the skeleton of how a song's generally going to go.
You're the Landon of the group?
Yeah, basically. Gotcha. So, and I produce all of our demos too, audio-wise. So,
and that's why you were familiar with all the equipment that
been doing audio for a long time too. I'm trying to think where I went. Okay, yeah. So we found Dingus, and Dingus came in. We had 6 songs. His name is actually Dingus. You know.
That's just so funny.
It is so
refer
funny.
to him as Dingus.
You know, we played a show with a band who didn't believe me. He thought I was being mean. And I'm like, no, his name's actually Dingus. And Dingus had to come in, get his ID, and like show the guy, like, yes, my last name is actually Dingus.
Oh.
And a lot of people call him Ozzy, and I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I'm calling you Dingus. Like, sorry, that's the situation. But so we had 6 songs. So our EP In Relief, when we brought on Dingus, had pretty much been 80% written instrumentally, musically. So when Dingus came in, it was basically just like, hey, write lyrics for these 6 songs that he didn't really have a part in like creating musically or instrumentally. So that was cool though. I feel like that's an easier way to start things because there's less that you have to do. Like from a musician standpoint, I feel like it's easier to come into a situation where most of the work is already done and you just have to put your touch on it. And Dingus is a wonderful lyricist, so it's been really easy working with that, and it's great because none of us have to write lyrics, which we all used to have to write lyrics in Down in Circles, which was awful.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, being that you were a former, I guess, frontman, if you had any input on the lyrics, or is it all him?
I had some. Obviously, if there's something we don't like, then we can change it, but we generally give Dingus creative control on where to go vocally, and then we'll just add our input there if we think something should change. I've written a couple vocal parts in our track, specifically in our song The Engineer on our last split. I wrote the chorus for that song, which is also the part that I sing. And then Dingus kind of used that to base the rest of his lyrics off of. But it's been a really cool working relationship. But either way, so we get to that point, right? So where he's writing lyrics. So then we recorded with Jeremy right at the end of 2017. That was like we recorded our single "Despite Earn Hope Of," and
such a good track.
Thank you. We released. I think we recorded that like in October, and then released it that December. And we had like a studio video for it. It was great. We ended up playing a house show as like our first show. Went terribly. We hadn't quite gotten all the gear that we have now.
Okay.
So, because have you seen us live before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twice.
So awesome. So our guitar, it was our guitar rig that had the problem. So we have our Mesa cab, and then we have a rack on top of it with like our amp tuner and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have the rack for this first show. We only had the cab. So Dingus had a Bugera like 6260 or something that we used for that show, and it just blew a fuse like during our first song. It was
at the house show.
Yeah, the house show. And we were the last band too. So thankfully, one of our friends who played in a band called Cheap Kites, who was on tour from Oklahoma.
It's a cool band name.
Yeah, it's great. And they're not around anymore, but they were super good. But he quickly let me use his stuff so we could at least play the show. Because like it was fried. Like we had to replace the fuse on that amp to get it to work again. And kind of once that happened, we expedited the acquisition of our guitar rig, which has been flawless up to this point. But yeah, so then December was our official like, hey, we're a band, because we all knew going into it that we weren't like when we announced that we're a band, we're gonna have music. We're gonna have music because we don't just want to say, hey, we're a band, like my band page, but I don't have any music to show for it. You know what I mean?
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
I totally agree with that concept. And my friend Jeff, the one that I live with, he was the same way. So he was in a project called what was it called? Whatever band it was. He had a deliberation with his band, the same exact thing. Like, hey, if we're going to put ourselves out there, we need to have something to show for it. So, I mean, that's very right. I think in a thinker's mind, it's probably the best way to go about it. Is like, this is us. This is what we're doing.
Yep.
Here we are. Right.
So that was really important to us. That's also partly why it took so long for us to actually announce, because we were at a place where I would consider ourselves show ready relatively fast. Once Dingus joined, we got to a good place where I would have been comfortable playing a show fast, but we really wanted to be careful and intentional at how we announced ourselves. So we released Despite in December, and then we had booked Jeremy to record our EP in March, and we had actually played House Fest 2 like the day before we left to record, so that worked out cool. But so we did our EP in March, and then that is actually, we bought Jeremy's prototype click track mixer.
Damn.
We bought it before it had actually gone to market, before he had really started pushing it, because it was such an integral thing for us from that point forward. And that has really, it's been critical in like our entire live performance. Like, forget just the second guitar parts, but like we have all of our bass drops, and like especially interludes between songs is particularly where that comes in very handy.
Gotcha.
Did you see us at Fit for a King? Is that where you? Okay, where did you see us?
I haven't been to a show in a long time. It would have been about a year ago.
Okay,
you're playing at Lookout, and I'm trying to think of who you guys would have been.
It might have been with Earth Groans.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
it was
great.
That might have been the first time I seen you.
Great.
And I guess I'll tell you about the first experience of hearing you guys.
Yeah, tell me. I'm excited.
Well, I was sitting in the middle on the right side, and I'd never heard of you guys before.
Cool.
Been better. And I have known of you for quite a while because you come to Omaha, you come to shows, and then you jump on stage all the time and do guest vocals. Brag.
That's something that I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing you do. So I'm like, I know that guy.
Yep.
And then you guys started playing, and you guys have a very tight set, which I appreciate.
Yep.
And then I've never heard anybody that sounds quite like Austin singing.
Yeah, like he has a very unique voice, and it's been really cool.
Yeah. And then there's a couple parts. I'm being completely honest. I don't know if it's in Despite or if it's that song or not. But
At that time of the year, we would have, at that time in our band, we would have opened our set with Despite.
gotcha.
I'm like pretty sure that's what we did.
Well, there's one of the songs that I listened to in the car where your guys' like harmony is so good,
Yeah.
and it like gives me goosebumps.
It's hard to nail those harmonies live. Neither Dingus or myself are good at singing live. So those harmonies can be tough, but they're really fun to write and work with.
I think when you guys came to Omaha for that show, it's just refreshing because in Omaha especially, it's just hardcore beatdown.
Yep.
And for you guys to come in here, not saying you guys were from like way far away,
Yeah.
but it was just
We were new.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A step in a new direction. What would you guys, I guess,
So we describe ourselves as post-hardcore.
post.
We had someone. Are you familiar with the YouTuber Wyatt Stav? He's like a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does these live streams where he reviews. Like you can send in your music. So we sent in our song "The Engineer," which is our most recent release
Right.
with the music video. And he described it really well as like a mix of counterparts with the story so far.
Okay.
Which is that's where I like to be because, that's kind of why post-hardcore is the best description because it's not like quite hardcore. There's still a lot of melodic in there, but like we definitely get heavy. I think it's been a really cool genre to kind of float around in because you're totally right. Like a lot of the bands you see now are like metalcore, hardcore, which is great. I love that genre, but there's a lot of it, and so for us, we kind of float in this middle ground. We can fit on a lot of bills,
Right.
And we have enough variety in our songs that if we needed to make a lighter or heavier set, we can do that. And in fact, when we played with Fit for a King, we actually did do that to a very high extreme. We actually brought in a song that we're not even close to recording yet, but that we have that's super heavy
Really.
for that set. Just because we know that at that point, that crowd's there to see Fit for a King. They're not there to see us. So them hearing a song that we don't have released is not going to matter in the slightest.
Where was this show at?
Waiting Room?
Waiting room.
Yep.
Okay. This is
It was in July.
okay. So
Yeah.
it was quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, Omaha's not really a jumpy type of city.
Yeah, it's not.
They're more of a throwy down.
Right. So we try to cater to that, and and that's all the music that we like listening to. So we definitely we use that as an influence, like when we write like breakdowns, like we're trying to think like what's like gonna make people throw down,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's definitely been a really cool like style to write in, but it has its challenges too, because like sometimes a riff is too heavy, or sometimes a riff is too light, and there's this like line you have to hit. But when it works, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
But,
I love your guys' music.
thank you. I appreciate that.
I guess the show that's coming up, you guys are playing with Secrets. And
Yep.
Who's the other band?
Secrets, Before I Burn, and someone just got added. I can't remember who it. I think it's called like Outer Earth. Is that who it is?
Could you imagine if it's Enterprise Earth? You
I would fucking cry.
Secrets been better. Enterprise Earth.
It is Outer Year.
Outer Year. Okay.
Yep. So Before I Burn, been better. Outer Year. It's the 22nd. Lookout, 7 p.m. $10. 13 day of. But
I'll try to be there.
cool.
Depends on what day it is.
It's Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah. I like playing during the week because I find that like Saturday there's a lot of competition on weekends, but like during the week, I find that as we get older, most people have jobs where they can get off like relatively early. Especially if you have a show that starts at 8:00. Like you can usually get off of work before then.
Oh, definitely.
So I think it's been recently been a lot easier for people to go to shows during the week, which has in turn made those turnouts a lot better.
See, if we're going back on your point about playing earlier in the day,
Yeah.
I've only seen bad experiences. For example,
Like playing early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack Attack. I used to watch this video on YouTube of Johnny Frank just fucking up so bad.
Uh-oh.
Well, first of all, he has autotune
Yep, live, which is weird.
live, and he tries to sing, and he cannot hold a note for more than like 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
he'll be singing this part, and he'll cut out. And it got to the point where he got so bad that he turned his back, walked away from the microphone, didn't sing for the rest of the song.
Dang.
And of course, his Warped Tour
Ooh, yikes.
they played super early. I don't know what the
Yeah.
earliest time was, but that's back when it was right after Austin left. Caleb was still on the keys.
Yeah.
So it had to be in, let's see, 2010, 2011.
Yeah, early. Yeah.
Way early. But yeah, I wish more shows were in the morning. I'd love to go to a show at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It'd be cool, but like, man, if we ever play a festival, that's gonna be a hard day for us. Just because we're so used to playing later. But yeah,
What I was gonna get at about I guess Secrets.
yeah.
Are you more of a Xander fan? Xander was their original vocalist.
I don't really know Secrets that well.
Really?
Yeah, I've started to listen to them because we got on the show, but previously I was not that familiar with Secrets.
Gotcha. See, I followed Secrets for about the first 3 albums. So the first one has the song like The Oath. That's one of their biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ready for Repair, I think, is off the second or third one. And then I haven't followed him after. And this kind of goes to show that, I don't know if you agree with me or not on this point. When bands first get big, they have like their first big CD.
Yeah.
They have a follow-up. And then like the third one, they kind of like die out.
That's fair.
For example, The Word Alive.
Yeah.
They had, what was it? Apologician? No, what was it? I can't think of what they had their EP. They had their big CD. They had a follow-up one, and then you didn't hear about them.
Yep.
Same with like Moths of Flames. They came out with like GNF. They had one after that. They followed
That's
down.
how I feel about 100th. I don't know if you know that band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except it's not they fell off. They just like betrayed their entire fan base.
Did they like sell out and play different stuff?
Yeah, well, because they had Let Go. I mean, they've had some EPs before, but like their major records, they had Let Go and they had Free, which are 2 of my favorite like melodic hardcore records, just overall. And then they completely did a 180.
Oh no!
And became like an indie rock band. Just like, well, it's funny because Blake Hardman, the guitar player for Counterparts, used to be in 100th.
Okay.
And I would suspect that the reason for him leaving could potentially be like this huge genre change that they pulled out of nowhere. And like, it's like, this is dumb. But
That's kind of how The Word Alive.
yeah.
I mean, they used to have synthy parts, really heavy parts, and now it's like Telly singing all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
In the earlier EPs and stuff, like there was little tiny parts of singing, and now it's just too much of it, and I can't stand it, and it's catering.
We're in an era where Nickelback is heavier than most bands now.
Shut your mouth.
I'm not.
What is with,
bro?
Are you picking on Nickelback right now?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm being like Nickelback is writing doper and heavier music than a lot of major bands.
Their biggest single off their last album, I thought was Day Shell, the band Day Shell.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, it sounds mixed, and
It's like, what the heck is happening? Because you have like Bermuda Horizon, super poppy. A Day to Remember, super poppy. And like now you've got Nickelback. There's a video that Austin sent in our band chat, but there's a video that like has these songs playing after another, and Nickelback just like throws down.
Yeah, they rip.
And I'm like, dude, why the fuck? People hate on Nickelback because it's a meme. Like Nickelback is good, but people hate on them because they're a meme. Like that's the situation.
Thank you.
It's just it's literally a
Fuck
meme.
you, Josh Bratton.
Yeah, dude. Josh Bratton can go fuck himself. He can want to do. He plays in a sad boy band. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and he's a fake Idahoan. He said he was born in Idaho, and he said he speaks German, and he lied.
He can't
about
decide
that.
if his hair is brown or blonde.
All right, Omaha's Aaron Pauley,
I love you, Josh.
L'Oreal model bitch.
I love Wither Decay. They're good friends of ours, so it's cool when we ever get to play together. But
Check this out. I had never talked. Well, I don't know if I'd never sat down and talked with Alex or Josh.
yep,
And that's a fun fact about, I guess, this podcast. Same goes for Alex. I'd never had an at-length conversation. Same with Ty. Like, a lot of these people, it's like you and I were using... I'm just going to, like, meme it out or mime it out. It's you and I's, like, first time meeting today.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
And I love that about the podcast because you get to see, like, I guess their genuine reactions to each other and actually genuine conversation.
Yep.
We don't plan anything
nothing
beforehand.
was planned, except for how I was gonna get here and what snacks we're gonna have. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys will see the game here in a second. Yep. And I think Deanna's cutting it right now.
Are we cutting it?
She's cutting cheese.
Sick.
Oh,
that's what you meant. You're actually literally cutting cheese.
yeah,
Okay.
there's cheese involved in this game.
That's cool. I like cheese.
Okay, and you like spicy
I
stuff.
do like spicy stuff. So.
What's the spiciest thing you've ever had?
I went to Buffalo Wild Wings when I was younger and was a badass and ordered their hottest sauce,
Yeah.
and it destroyed me. but not because it was spicy. It tasted bad.
Yeah, it's just terrible. It's like
My tolerance for spice is really high. It just has to taste good.
yeah.
Is the thing.
I think cheese is a good it's a good ship for the.
I agree. It is good. So
Where do we go from here? I don't want to start the game.
we don't want to start the game yet. Cool.
I don't know.
I can talk about my band more.
Yeah, talk about anything about your band.
Yeah,
Actually,
so what's up?
I asked Austin if he's going to come to the place tonight. He said depends on what time he gets off work.
Oh, cool.
That'd be nice.
That would be sick.
I'd like to meet him.
Yeah.
He
That'd be
seems great.
awesome.
Maybe he can sing to us.
And I'm sure he'd have some great input too. But yeah, so we're actually at a cool point in our band right now because we've had all this merch come out, and we were blown away by how fast those hats sold out.
Yeah, these are sweet.
We ordered 15, okay, and we brought them to Dingus's place because that's where all of our stuff lives. And he just took a picture and just put it on Facebook, and we sold all of them. Like, we literally had 2 hats at Housefest, and then we sold one, and then that's yours. Like, we sold 13 hats in like a day. Like, it was crazy.
And these are comfy. I like these hats.
Yeah. And so
I had to
we
take
do all
off
this
my
merch. So which when you sell merch, it puts your band name in the public eye a bit more. And so what we're doing is we're actually end of this year we are going back up to Jeremy in Scotland. And
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Yeah.
Just so that way you guys know.
Yeah. We're actually recording 2 more songs, which I can show you later. And we're actually so have you listened to the 2 songs that we released with Everbloom?
Oh, on the split?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the engineer and what's the other one?
Hot Seats.
Hot Seats.
Yeah.
I can't recall.
Yeah.
I've listened to them, but I can't be like, oh yeah, in
That's
a minute,
fine.
minute
So
3.
that split really kind of showed us like where our strength is as a band. Like that style of music represents where we all want to go. And I feel like for us, that's been our best material so far. In Relief kind of went all over the place genre-wise. So what we're doing is we're releasing these 2 songs. And then after that, we're going to write another EP that's going to be very much in the vein of our split. So it's going to be awesome. And we're kind of just honing in on the kind of genre that we want to have. So we already have, we have a couple tracks. So the 2 songs that we're recording are totally done. And then we have more tracks that are done for the next EP. So hopefully the next EP will come out mid next year is like a very hopeful guess. But cool. It's going to be super cool. We're going to get way more like specific on what we're trying to do.
Would you guys say you're a very regimented band? Because it sounds like you have all this planned out.
We're pretty methodical.
Yeah.
We try not to do things haphazardly, especially when it comes to like the music we're going to put out. We try to very much so like take it very intentionally. We try to do the best that we can all the time. If we're going to release something, we want it to be really good. That's why we've gone to Jeremy Schaefer for literally everything. It's because like recording quality is very important for us. And like, because we've gone to Jeremy once, we have to at least be at that point or better. But once you get better, you can't ever get worse. Like quality wise, it always has to get better.
Can you talk about meeting him for the first time?
Meeting Jeremy?
Yeah,
Oh god.
where'd
Well,
you,
so
like-
I had known Jeremy for quite a while before our band actually went and worked with him. I met him at a show in Lincoln. Funny enough, Earthgroans like had a date fall through or something, so they booked a date at Lincoln. And that's where I met all the Earthgroans people. But I didn't start to know Jeremy in a greater capacity until we started to do music videos together.
Oh yeah.
But I think where I learned a lot about him, though, was definitely when we recorded our EP with him. It was hilarious. So we... okay, so here's a fun story. So we were recording our EP, and Scotland has, like, one place to go for food.
Bowling alley.
Yeah. So we went there. Okay. So I had to go to the bathroom. It took a long time. And everyone else just left as like a prank. Okay. But the bartender told me this. I'm like, oh, okay. So what I did was I was like, I'm going to beat them back to the studio. And I almost did. Because what happened is So Jeremy, Austin, and Connor were all walking back to Jeremy's place, and Austin and Connor, or Dingus and Connor, decide to go back to the bar because I guess they're like, oh, but we left something there or whatever. Okay. So I meet up with Austin and Jeremy before they got back to the studio. And they're like, how the heck did you get here that fast? And I'm like, I walked fast. So now we have a golden opportunity where Jeremy, Austin, and myself are very close to the studio. Austin and Connor, or Dingus and Connor, are not close to the studio. So we're like, we're going to prank the fuck out of them. Okay. So we, in retrospect, not really much of a prank. I think the idea was we were just going to try to scare them when they came back. But so we come back, we go into the troll hole, as he calls it, which is where the bands stay. And so we're like, all right, guys, we're going to turn the lights off. And then when they come, we're just going to scare the fuck out of them. Okay. So we hear them come in, and I'm hiding in the kitchen, and Austin is hiding in the bedroom. And Jeremy's in the middle, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to get naked. Home dude strips 100% naked. Like everything, underwear, everything, all of it's off. And there's just spread eagle on the floor. And so what I see, I can't actually see what's happening, but what I see is Dingus has a flashlight on his phone. And so all I see is a flashlight come into the room and then just leave. And then that's when we all died. And that's kind of when I realized, like, this is who Jeremy Schaefer is. And since that point, I'll have to show you a video. We actually, also, same recording session, a bat found its way into the studio. Ooh. So we had this while we were sleeping. So we have this entire video of the situation of a bat being in Jeremy's studio and taking care of it. That also shows his personality very well.
Did he scream like a little schoolgirl?
No, actually, he didn't.
He's like, been here, done that.
Yeah, well, I think he was like, this bat's been here before. But yeah, it was cool. That I learned a lot. I mean, we obviously have worked together, but outside of my band, we've done a lot of work together, like with Earthgroans. Done a lot of their music videos, helped at least. They just released a video for their song Allure, which is footage that I all shot when we were on tour. So yeah, it's been cool, but definitely an interesting fellow.
I can't wait. Him and I already talked about it. I'm gonna try to get him on here.
Dude, heck yeah.
Either it's gonna be via Skype,
yeah,
or unless he catches.
And he's in Omaha a lot.
Yeah, and I've talked about this plenty of times, so sorry if I'm reiterating. His drummer Brady is here in Omaha.
Yeah, which is great.
So maybe I can get a split screen. I don't know how this would work. Deanna's the pro here. I'm just the host, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's been cool. I obviously learned a lot about them on tour, but they're one of the bands that really early on, like when I met them 4 years ago.
When they first started.
2015, right when they first started, shortly after. And I knew really quickly that band was going to be a band that I toured with to some capacity. And we knew it too. So it only took 4 years, but it happened. All right, there's some cheese coming in too.
We can't look at the label. Here you go.
Okay, what's going on? What are we doing here?
All right. So
there's also a cat here too.
Yeah, a cat probably shouldn't eat this.
So what is this? Tell me what's going on.
Well, it's cheese.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
For the past couple podcasts, I've played games. Mm-hmm. So, kind of an impromptu game that I played with Spencer Maloney. We just went A to Z, named bands. And then last, who was the one with Anthony? Anthony, I did trivia, Bastille trivia. Mm-hmm. And he got rewarded with White Claw. And then with Wither Decay, I made them answer trivia questions about each other.
Okay.
And then they had consequences. So, for example, Josh Bratton has to stand behind Nathan Schwery for a whole entire song.
That'd be good.
Or every time, or actually Alex Narducci, he has to try and impress Alex Sloan by doing 10 stick tricks in one song.
That's funny.
And which one? What did Nathan?
I think you can pull it off.
Yeah.
Narducci's a good drummer. I think you can pull it off.
So I made a game, and it's called the Been Better Cheese Game.
Okay.
And the way it goes, rules to the game, I will read off the name of an artist.
Okay.
Or a band.
Okay.
You will decide in your head if you think the latest album or the latest release is better than anything they've had before. So name a band.
Counterparts.
Counterparts. What's their latest song?
Wings of Nightmares.
Okay. So, for example, you would say, is Wings of Nightmares better than anything they've ever recorded? If so, you would say been better. If not, you would say never been better. Does that make sense?
Okay, but so in this context, like the Counterparts songs, Wings of Nightmare is better than some of the stuff they've put out before, but not all of it.
Exactly.
Or not none of it.
So you would have to definitively say their latest track or latest album, whatever it may be, is definitively better than anything they've ever written before.
Anything.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
If you
So
don't,
this case, it would be never been better.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you think it's definitely better than anything they've ever written before,
then I'll say been better.
okay.
Okay,
And,
let's do
and
this
we're
thing.
gonna go based off of albums, just that
Right.
way we're not like, oh yeah, they came out with a song, right? For every time we disagree on an artist,
I have to eat a piece of cheese.
we both have to eat a piece of cheese.
Okay.
So it's kind of like the game.
I'm kind of scared. Like I said, I don't know a lot of artists, so we're gonna find out.
You're already sweating.
Am I?
Yeah.
Tight. Great. Let's do this thing.
It's kind of like the game Friend or Foe.
Okay.
It used to be on Game Show Network. Okay, and we're both going to do this for 10 bands.
Okay. 10 bands.
All right, so if we disagree, we have to eat the cheese. On the count of 3, we either say never been better or been better. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Actually, do you want to count? You want to? No?
That's fine.
We got it.
Okay. I've already written down my answers, so that way it doesn't look like I'm catering to you.
Okay. Cool.
All right, the first band, The Plot and You.
Plot and you. I don't listen to the plot and you.
This is going to be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to say,
All right.
and you're going to say never been better or been better.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Been
Never
better.
been Off the bat.
All right, take a piece of cheese. Fun fact, this is scorpion pepper cheese. Scorpion pepper is above ghost pepper, but I think it's under Carolina Reaper.
Cool. I do feel that. It's like a needle. That's good though.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of a nice ship for
That feels good. I like that.
well, we got plenty more, so let's
Great.
just keep disagreeing.
Yes, great. Let's do it.
All right. Devil Wears Prada.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Never
Been
been
better. What song or what about this newest album do you like better? Or the
Wait.
newest stuff? Did we just eat this on accident?
Yeah, wasn't it? I thought it's like, I think some of their older stuff is better than what they put out.
Yeah, and you said never been better.
Isn't that what I'm supposed to say?
No, you're supposed to say been better. If you think their previous stuff is better than what they have, you say been better.
Okay, so so we've agreed on both of these then.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Great. Okay.
Well, you said you like the cheese.
I
So,
misunderstood their rules, but I'm okay with it.
okay.
But now I know. Okay. This also makes way more sense now.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's kind of hot. Not too bad.
Okay.
Hopefully you're a fan of Knocked Loose.
Yes, I am.
All right. I'm not so much. So,
Okay.
you ready? 1, 2, 3. Been
Never
better.
been better. Their Knock Loose's new album is better than anything they've put out. No doubt.
You think so? The only reason I put been better is because I haven't listened to the new album.
It's very good.
But
It's much more mature. The music writing is much better.
this one's going to be a very interesting one. Do you like Veil Maya? You don't like him at all, or you don't?
No, I
listen
just
to
don't
him?
know him.
1, 2, 3. Never been
Been
better.
We've disagreed on every single one.
At least it's not that spicy. Man, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's good.
Yeah. Then we're going to have ramen after this. I hope the ramen's spicier.
It can be.
Do you like spicy ass ramen?
It depends. Oh, I went down the wrong hole. You can make it spicy. I tend to not.
I tend to not.
I like it more savory
Gotcha.
than spicy.
All right. So we're through 4 bands. Still got
Okay.
6 left.
All right, let's do this.
You actually played with these guys. And you mentioned it earlier. Fit for a King.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Never been better.
Hey,
Yes.
we agreed on one.
Finally got one.
Yeah, their new album's really good.
Got it.
I like it a lot. We jammed it a bunch when we got that show offer. Because actually, previously, I hadn't been that familiar with Fit for a King. So we got the offer. started listening to it, and I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah, it's mixed and mastered
Yeah.
very well. All right. Get 5 more.
Awesome.
And you already answered one of them earlier.
Did I?
Yeah,
Great.
you did.
Is it counterparts? Okay.
Number 6, Wage War.
Did I answer Wage War?
No, it's not this one.
Oh, okay.
You'll
Okay.
know it when you hit it.
Okay.
Number 6, Wage War. You ready?
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Been better. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I like Heavy Wage War, but now it sounds like all the riffs kind of just blend in. I can't separate song from song, you know.
That's fair.
And then like The River is probably their biggest song
Yeah.
because they have that cough.
Yep.
When I heard that
The
song,
good old day to remember cough. Yep.
when I heard that song for the first time, I'm like, did they just fucking cough into a breakdown?
I think I did remember was the first band to do that.
Really?
One of the first, yeah.
I'm gonna eat one just for the heck of it.
And their song "I'm Made of Wax, Larry." What are you made of?
Oh,
Right before Mike Haranica's guest part, it's
everybody's out.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Beartooth.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Been
Been
better. Yeah. I'm not huge on Beartooth.
Yeah.
They turned into like aggressive rock and kind of went away from the roots.
Yeah.
Because when they first started,
Why did you eat a piece of cheese?
Because it tastes good.
Okay.
You can tell. I'm not sweating.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it too.
All right. Well, I mean, we got to finish. I'm not just going to throw this away. I was hoping we'd answer all these wrong.
I like. All right. I'll start answering wrong.
Ooh. This one's going to be interesting. Earth Groans.
We're about to spill some tea. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this.
All right. Earth Groans. 1, 2, 3. Never been better.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm not about to disagree. Earth Groans is so tight.
They are good.
I can't say I dislike any of their songs.
They were definitely. Rehab was a much better written album. I can tell that for sure. There's a lot of. I think Renovate was really good, but there are definitely some parts where it feels like it's trying to be complicated for the sole purpose of being complicated. But in Rehab, everything feels a lot more intentional.
Yeah.
They're not gonna watch this. It'll be fine. This is like an hour in. So.
I'm gonna tag Jeremy. I'm gonna
Do it.
timestamp it.
Timestamp. Yeah, do it.
Peter Barnes talks shit about your band. All right, we talked about this band as well. Nickelback.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, this one's gonna be fun because I think we might have a different answer.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Been better.
I think their new stuff's great.
It is great, but name 2 songs off their new
I
album.
can't fucking name a song.
Name 2. I mean, you got How You Remind Me, Animals.
I don't know. I don't know songs.
They got a meme after a song. Photograph.
Oh wait, were you asking me to name 2 Nickelback songs?
Yeah, go ahead. Off the new album.
Oh, I don't know.
But
I guess
mean,
I've heard it.
instrumentally, it's so much better though.
Yeah.
But as far as hits go, I thought that song Rockstar sucked ass. They got overplayed.
Yeah.
Same with Post Malone's Rockstar. I can't.
Yeah. That is fair.
Do you like Post Malone?
I like all of. Okay, I like Post Malone, but I like none of his hits.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been. Ooh, yeah, I was gonna say that just hit me too. I've never been a fan of Post Malone. I don't know if it's just me wanting to hate him because he's popular, or me actually. I don't know. It just doesn't rub me the right way. Not in that way.
All right, what's next?
Last band.
Last band?
Yeah, and you already. This is the one that you mentioned earlier.
Great.
Been better.
Awesome.
1, 2, 3. Never been better.
There we go.
Because it's your band, and I mean,
But I also do feel that on it. Like I know there's obviously a bias because it's my band. But like I do feel like the stuff we're putting out now is much better than what we've put out before. So
I can't wait to hear new stuff.
heck yeah, I'll show you it on the way there.
Are we driving together?
We can.
I was gonna say you have to come back here anyway.
Easier to park.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It is What is today? Friday?
Yes.
Friday night at Benson.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Benson in a long time. Not since one guy got shot. You hear that?
That's true. I did hear about that. Yeah.
You heard about that?
Heard about that. Yeah.
You hear? What do you think about that? About them canceling all rap shows?
I don't think. I mean, I think it's
Sorry for the crinkling.
Nope. I think it's a knee-jerk response.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, but also local hip hop. I don't even think needs the waiting room. But I mean, anytime there's a shooting, there's always an emotional response, and it's because people like they
Ooh,
see
that
that,
one hit a lot.
so they see there's a shooting, and a lot of people they want to see that something is being done about it, like almost completely separate from like anytime there's a shooting, almost irregardless of what they do would actually help the situation. Most people just want to see that something is getting done about it.
Right.
And so like that is tough because you end up making emotional responses for an issue that very much will not benefit from an emotional response.
Yeah, and I didn't even know, to be honest, they had rap shows
I
up
didn't
in the
either.
waiting room. I mean, because that's a pretty expensive venue from what I've heard. I mean, Lookout. Damn, my left.
I think they especially said local rap.
Yeah,
Like not like all rap, just local rap.
because from what I've heard, the venue itself isn't cheap. I mean,
I'm sure it's not.
if I was to guess, I would say Lookout's probably the most notable.
It's I think it's the most like synonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked Keith, the guy who owns it, if he wants to come on, and he said he'd like to.
Yeah,
which would be great because that guy, I didn't know what the bar name was beforehand. Maybe the Hideout.
Yep.
Okay, so think about what he's done in the past 4 or 5 years, or since he's
They're
owned
great. Yeah. No, I love that place. That's our favorite place to play too.
it. Yeah, and
So.
he's. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle. My bad. Sorry,
Well,
Deanna corrected me.
Keith is also Kyle's brother. I think I don't know if they co-own it. But like Keith is Kyle's brother, so it's still relevant to have him in. But Keith does sound at Lookout.
Yeah, and I think I need to have them on here just that way people know who. I mean, people know who they are, but the impact they've made on Omaha, because it used to be Sokol. Like everybody just went to Sokol, and then the Commons, and now that those two are kind of not dead necessarily.
I think Sokol can come back. I really think it should. I think like Lookout's great, but it's difficult to book there because of how many shows they
Gotcha.
have. And I think like Sokol Underground has a huge opportunity to come back.
Yeah. Damn.
Also, because I don't think you need to have a notary form
For kids.
it's for
under
kids
18.
to go to Sokol Underground because it's not solely a bar.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
There's so many nostalgic memories I have of
Oh, me too.
Sokol Underground.
One of my old bands played at Sokol Underground years and years ago.
What band was that?
It was a band called Always Remember Today, and we were really shitty. I was like, Austin and I were like, I think we were like 14.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those bands,
Okay.
like a bunch of 14-year-olds that have a chip on their shoulder, but
I know.
so not good. But
How many open notes did you play in one song?
I don't know. So it actually wasn't that. So musically, it was very much like rock, trying to be metal, but like not really trying to be
Okay.
a metal band.
I'll tell you about one of the weirdest experiences I've ever seen for a show. Jeff's band at the time their name was Rumination Cycles.
Okay.
So Josh Peterson
Yep.
was like, hey, do they want to come on to the show? And I said, it was a Silence is Madness mixer. So it's just a whole bunch of random bands. Like some could be like your rock and some could be heavy. So they had Jeff's band on it, and they're pretty heavy. The band after that was a whole bunch of teenagers that played covers.
Yeah.
So the crowd they drew was the parents and the grandparents.
Yeah.
So there's like 70, 80-year-olds coming in to watch the show. And before then, they had Jeff's heavy-ass band and Ted screaming from the pits of hell. And that was just awkward because these guys are like, that's not what I paid for.
Yeah.
But they had to sit through it because their kids are going to play next.
Yeah.
And then they played really terrible covers of Avenged Sevenfold.
Yep. No, I know exactly what that's like.
Do you like
I
Avenged
was there.
Sevenfold?
Yeah. Kind of. I don't listen to them on a regular basis, but they're okay.
That's one of my first tattoo ideas. And I'm glad I didn't get it. The little the bat or the
Yeah,
bat in the skull.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like a white trash tattoo nowadays.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah.
And people get it right here or tramp stamp.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Do you have any tattoos?
No, but funny, I'm actually getting one.
What are you getting?
I'm getting a lantern. It's gonna go
Fitting.
right here. And it's funny because it actually did come from our band. So we
Sorry for all the crinkling.
no, it's okay. I guess it's Deanna's. Not mine.
I don't know why.
I don't know why I'm saying it's okay.
It's okay.
But so we with all this merch that we're making, we're constantly looking for designs. Because we take merch pretty seriously. We want all of our stuff to look really good. Because that ultimately makes it sell better. So we so Austin actually works at Relentless, who makes all of our merch. And one of his coworkers, who does all their embroidery, just had a bunch of designs laying around. So we ended up buying a couple of them. And one of them, I'll actually show you the picture of it. It's coming on some cool stuff soon. Hint, hint, we're making some hoodies in a little bit.
Right for the winter months.
Right? We're trying to get them done for the show. But so she had this.
Okay, that's pretty tight.
So I saw that. And I'm like, that's really cool. And I had always known, like I known that I had wanted a tattoo right here for a really long time.
That's exactly where I want my
and
left forearm.
I know what I wanted it to be about, but I didn't know what I wanted it to be. But so I saw that lantern, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm not getting that exactly, but I hit up my tattoo artist that I knew who I was going to go to, and I said, hey, here's this, go crazy. So end of this month, getting a tattoo. So it's going to be cool.
Are you going to plug your artist?
Yeah, so the guy that I go to is actually one of my past grooms. I shot his wedding last year. His name is Maxwell, down at Ironbrush in Lincoln, and his Instagram handle is Tattoo Maxwell.
Boom.
And he's very good, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that idea that itself looked pretty sick.
Yeah,
the tattoo idea I've had in my head for years. I just never have committed to getting it. Yeah. Same exact placement, left forearm.
Yeah.
I want to get like a old English like clock tower.
Nice.
And then a skyline, but the clock will be stopped on the date that my grandma had passed away.
That's super cool. I love it.
And then I want to get like a little.
How do you do that with a clock though?
Well, I mean, she died. Well, I don't know. I don't remember exactly the date, but I mean, let's just say, for example, her birthday is 9/26. Mm-hmm. Stop it at 9/26.
I see it. Okay, so it's not, that makes more sense.
Okay,
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty original. I haven't heard of anybody doing it.
That's cool. I love it.
One of the coolest tattoo. One of the coolest tattoo themes I've seen. Forrest Catlett. He has a tree, and then it turns. I don't know if he ever got it completed. Forrest, I know.
Forrest Catlett has a fucking tree tattoo.
I'm pretty sure.
Damn it!
I'm pretty sure it's
Papa Trees has a tree tattoo.
I'm pretty sure it goes trees to outer space and then all the way up his arm.
That's the fucking best. I love that.
Papa Trees,
dude.
Did you ever like party with him?
No, but I did one of them. I did a Deathwish music video. Okay. So we interacted in that capacity. I haven't really hung out with him a lot, but I know him.
Oh, fun fact.
This home dude shows up to a music video shoot with a gold chain
and all Adidas.
All Adidas tracksuit.
Dude, he's the biggest Adidas rep out.
I'm like, but he's got great vocals, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, so I've known Forrest since he was about. Oh man, we played football together. So
he was baby trees.
Yeah, little baby trees. Maybe when he was 9 or 10.
Oh, okay. So really baby trees.
Really baby trees. And he had blonde hair.
Uh-huh.
And I remember going to a birthday party of his, and they had an Apple, like Bob little station. And that's 16 years ago, and it's still like vivid in my brain. And then I can remember we went to Iowa Western at the same time, and I can remember him doing vocals. He was practicing him, and he had his windows down, and we're driving through Iowa Western. He's just screaming at the top of his lungs to the song. I can't remember what the song was, but I haven't really seen him recently. Hopefully I can get him on.
Yeah.
I think he'd be an interesting conversation. Yeah. But as far as who I've got on next, see, after you, I've got Ellis and Bam Mitchell from A Tale Untold.
Oh, nice. Elise.
Ellis. It's really Elise?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good thing you shouted that out before I started calling it Ellis. Well, it's spelled Ellis, but
It is spelled Ellis.
That's
yeah.
not for me to
Yeah.
make the determination.
That'll be cool.
And then I've got Ethan Ball
Heck yeah.
and Jake Schoening.
Nice.
Maybe I'll have him do like a scream off.
Jake and Ethan.
A frontman
I
scream
think
off.
Ethan will win. Ethan's a really good vocalist.
Actually, I did have a game plan for them. Like I'm so like many weeks ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spoil it.
Not even Ethan's a really good vocalist. I think he would win that.
Okay.
No offense to Jake, but like Ethan's really good. So.
Jake, show him up.
Yeah.
I don't want to actually. I don't. Could you imagine if we had a scream off in these mics? We're like,
Dude,
go ahead, Jake.
poor Deanna.
Ugh. And then Cody Patterson and Corey Korth.
Nice.
What a name, by the way.
Corey Korth.
Corey Korth. Cody's the same way. I've known him since he was 15 or 16.
Heck yeah.
Back when he had a mullet. Did you ever have a mullet?
I did not ever have a mullet.
You were never in that fad?
Nope.
Were you ever a part of any fads?
Probably without knowing it. But
I think Forrest is in the fad of the rep and Adidas.
the tracksuit.
Oh, it's so Russian.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get out of here. Let's go eat
Let's
some
go eat
food.
some ramen. Cool.
Oh my god. I don't know what we're gonna do with this cheese. We'll make Deanna or the cats eat it. Who knows?
Yep.
But we're out of here. Episode 7. Done. Peace.
Bye.